It was the first day of school, and everything felt brand new. The halls buzzed with excitement as kids caught up after summer. Teachers handed out schedules, and the air was filled with possibility. But for Samantha, it wasn't just any first day. She had spent the whole summer thinking about one thing, one person. Back in June, just before summer vacation, she'd met him, Max. He had just moved to town and was new to the school. Their first encounter had been pure chance in the school library. Samantha had knocked over a shelf of books, and in the chaos, Max had come to her rescue.
Are you always this clumsy?
He teased. His voice warmed. Samantha had laughed, nervously brushing a strand of hair behind her ear.
Only when I'm trying to look cool.
Since that moment, she couldn't stop thinking about him. They exchanged numbers and kept in touch, but the thought of seeing him in person made her stomach flutter. Now, as the bell rang to signal the start of the new school year, Samantha stood at her locker, clutching her books. The sound of footsteps grew louder. She looked up, her heart leaping. They arrived at the cafeteria, and Max led her to a table by the window. As they sat down, their conversation flowed effortlessly. They talked about their summer, their favorite classes, and what they were looking forward to. It felt easy, natural, like they'd known each other for years instead of just a few months. Samantha realized that, in a way, she had found something she hadn't even known she was looking for. Max laughed, his eyes glinting mischievously.
True, but I wasn't sure if you'd be, running away from all the textbooks already.
Samantha groaned in mock defeat.
I'm definitely trying to avoid them, but I think I can survive one more year.
She paused, her cheeks warming.
I missed you over the summer.
Max's expression softened.
I missed you too. I thought about you a lot, actually.
Samantha felt her heart skip a beat. She smiled shyly, trying not to blush.
Really? I thought maybe you'd forget all about me by now.
Max gave a soft chuckle, shaking his head.
How could I forget? You're the one who knocked over a whole shelf of books, remember?
Samantha groaned, playfully covering her face.
Oh no, don't remind me. I'm never living that down, am I?
Max shook his head.
No, but I like you even more because of it.
Samantha raised an eyebrow, her curiosity piqued.
What, because I'm clumsy?
Max shrugged, a small smile tugging at the corner of his lips.
Because you're real. You don't try to be perfect, and that makes you, well, perfect to me.
Samantha's heart fluttered. She always worried that she wasn't enough, but here, in front of Max, she felt like maybe she was. She couldn't quite find the words to respond, but the warmth in her chest said everything she needed to.
That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever said to me,
she finally said, her voice barely above a whisper. Max's smile widened. I have plenty more where that came from. For a moment, they both just stood there, locked in a comfortable silence. The world around them seemed to slow down, as if it was giving them a moment to breathe. Just the two of them. Max broke the silence first.
Hey, since it's the first day back, would you want to grab lunch with me, just the two of us?
Samantha's eyes lit up, a wide smile spreading across her face.
I'd like that. A lot?
Max grinned.
It's a date then.
Samantha couldn't resist teasing him.
You sure you can handle the clumsy girl?
Max laughed.
I think I can. Besides, if you drop anything, I'll catch it for you.
Samantha chuckled, feeling the butterflies in her stomach grow stronger. She never imagined her first day back to school would feel this. Right, but with Max by her side, everything seemed to fall into place. They walked down the hallway together, side by side, their shoulders occasionally brushing. It felt natural, as though this was exactly where they were meant to be. As they made their way to the cafeteria, Samantha couldn't help but smile to herself. This year was going to be different. It wasn't just about textbooks and assignments. It was about the connections they made, the friendships they built, and maybe, just maybe, the beginning of something more. Max glanced over at her, catching her smile.
What's going through your head?
Samantha shrugged, her smile still in place.
I'm just thinking. This year is going to be amazing.
Max's eyes twinkled.
I think it's already off to a great start.
They arrived at the cafeteria and Max led her to a table by the window. As they sat down, their conversation flowed effortlessly. They talked about their summer, their favorite classes, and what they were looking forward to. It felt easy, natural, like they'd known each other for years instead of just a few months. Samantha realized that, in a way, she had found something she hadn't even known she was looking for. Max wasn't just a guy she liked. He was someone who saw her, who appreciated her quirks and imperfections. He made her feel like she didn't have to pretend to be anyone else. By the end of lunch, Samantha felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. She had been nervous about starting the school year, about facing all the challenges that came with it, but now, with Max by her side, she felt ready to take on whatever came her way. After lunch, they walked together to their next classes, hands brushing occasionally, a silent promise between them. They didn't need words to know that this was just the beginning. As they reached their classrooms, Max turned to her with a grin. "I'll see you later?" Samantha nodded, her heart racing. "Definitely." With that, they parted ways, but Samantha knew this year was going to be different. It wasn't just about the textbooks, the grades, or the routine. It was about Max, about the connection they shared, and the magic of new beginnings. And with that thought in her mind, Samantha walked into her class, ready for whatever the future had in store.